Today we're gonna learn board slide. Yeah! High five. Alright, so someone on Instagram, homie, told me how do you board slide, and my first response was you want to make sure that when you're landing on the rail, you're in a squatted position. So pretty much assuming that you're comfortable doing the ollie on top of it, what is most important is that you don't land like upright or too upright, because it's gonna cause you to either slip back if you're on the heels or just get stuck and go forward when you're on your toe side. So basically we're gonna do a board slide right now, and you guys see a side angle, and I'll kind of talk over every attempt. So let's get a side angle right here. Okay, so you can see if you pause it that my weight is here, and because that rail's even lower, I have to be super intentional about landing like that. So something that you can do to just practice popping onto a squat is, for one, start low, so that when you pop, you're already in that engaged position. Number two, when you land, it doesn't matter if you land with the rail right next to the back trucks or right next to the front trucks. What you want to think about is keeping your weight over the rail. So if I go here, stay with my weight here, but if I go there, you see how the board shifts, but the top half of my body is centered over wherever the rail is. So I'll be like that. Let's say I'm doing one of those board slides where I like shift. I'm shifting, but my weight is staying over that rail. Because if you go to the right, you're gonna slip. You're gonna slip out one-sided. Same thing the other way, right? So first out, we stay low so that we can be stable, and also so we can be stable, and so it can be easier to hold that board slide. Think about like locking a board slide. The way you lock it in is staying over that rail. All right. Sometimes when you're just starting, you don't want to get so much speed, right? Because it could be a little dangerous. So I encourage you to just kiss the rail like this. Right? And what you kind of have to slowly get away from, let's go here. Slowly get away from when you just kiss the rail is getting on the rail like this. You want to make sure that you're practicing kissing the rail, but your board is leveled out. Otherwise, it's not going to build a good habit when you're going faster, or even trying to do more of the rail. So on top of just kissing the rail, you want to make sure you're leveling it out. And you could even do this on a sidewalk. You don't have to do it on a flat bar to begin with. But once you get it to the flat bar, it's important that you're leveling out the board and not just being content with approaching it sideways. So this is what I mean by this is what you don't want to do, and then I'm gonna do one where you do want to level it out. So we're gonna do one on the bigger. I don't know if you could tell so much on that by that angle, but I was planted, and you could even hear that revert. So if you're hearing that revert when you come off, that means you're too heavy on that truck side, most likely. And so you want to get rid of that revert and really get onto the board in the center. All right, let's get one. Try to get me through the front. Right. Go. Alright, so basically you can pause the video when I did the board slide, but the rail was here, and like I said, as long as I'm centered over this spot, it's okay. I don't need to be directly in the middle. I think that's a big misconception that a lot of people think. Of course, when you're dialing in that board slide and getting better, it's important to be able to control what part of the board you're sliding on. Your board is sliding on the rail, but for now, what you need to keep constant is just if you can center your weight over the rail as your board is on there. So like I said, on top of making sure that you keep it stable, you land in a squatted position, keep your weight centered over. That's 2. The last thing, when you're coming off of the board slide, when you think about, instead of bringing your foot forward, because you don't really want to pressure your foot, push down. All you're gonna do is move this knee here, right? Because your foot's already, in a sense, glued to the board, so you don't need to push down. Because you need to smoothen out the way you get off of a board slide. All you're gonna think about doing is bringing this knee forward, and it should level you out and you should come off a bit more simple. A lot of times when people board slide and try coming off, they put so much pressure on the weight coming out, so they go primo, right? And if they go too heavy on the heel to go forward, they'll do this and slip back. So what we want to do is just think about bringing our knee forward, right? Like we're doing a lunge. All right, want to film this one after they go? Go. So it's just like a lunge. Like if you're here, right? And you're just going. Oh. One leg, single leg lunge. How are we on time?
7 minutes.
7 minutes? Okay, cool. So on top of, just to rewind, stay stable with your hips engaged, or your core engaged. Center yourself over the rail, no matter if the rail is closer to your front trucks or your back trucks, doesn't matter, you stay centered over. And then number 2, when you're getting off, instead of putting so much pressure to go out, you just want to think about bringing the knee forward, right? Because you should already be holding tension on the forefoot. Also, that brings me to a good point. A lot of people, when they're doing board slides, they feel like they need to stabilize on the heels. But I want you to try thinking about landing with your 4 feet on the board, right? And sometimes you might think because you're landing on the forefoot, you can fall forward. But if you just stay hinged, look at how when I'm straight up, when I'm straight up on the rail, I'll most likely do that. But as I hinge, it levels out the weight, right? So when I'm applying pressure in a hinge position on the board slide, it levels out, and I just get to, pretty much slide it without any friction on the toe side or on the heel side, causing me to fall forward or fall back. So we're gonna do another one on the small one, or on this one. This one right here. This one. Cool. So, having said that, you want to keep those 4 things in mind. Stable, centered over the rail, no matter if it's on the closer to the back trucks or the front trucks. Bring the knee forward instead of pushing down, right? You don't want to push down. You want to just bring it forward. And number 4, when you're on the rail, think about getting on with your 4 feet applying the pressure, right? Don't try to get on like this on the heel. You lose stability like that as well. But yeah, this one's gonna be a short video. What's up?
That's actually how I messed up my knee.
Because you were on the heels?
No, I was turning and not using my front knee, and I used my back foot to go like this to get off.
Yeah.
And that's how I messed up my knee.
On a board slide?
Yeah, that's perfect. The length for that. guide yourself with the way you're gonna land.
Guide yourself with that lead foot. That's what you want to do. I'm trying to think. We should film more, huh? A little more.
Yeah.
It's only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna be trying. It's because they're gonna take the flat bars right now. I'm not too sure.
Just do some tricks on the flat bar.
Okay. Alright. Get my back. It's deceiving because it's a small one. But the mistake I did there, I guess I could talk about the mistakes, right? I was too straight up.
Yeah.
I need to be more engaged. I didn't hold any tension on the forefeet. Good game.
You were still kind of straight, no?
Huh?
You were still kind of straight.
Yeah, but not too much though. It
No, not,
felt
yeah.
different. Like I felt the engagement here. It's a very subtle engagement. But yeah, that one didn't feel the way I was. We're gonna go after this guy. After Patrick. Check it out.
Oh, he's trying to Smith?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Look at Patrick. You see how he centered over the hill?
He switch? Oh, my bad.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You gotta stay engaged. I mean, you can do it like without, people have that nonchalant style, but for the most part, when you really want to just improve and dial in your patterns, so that you can have these same, how would I say, like, have these same approaches throughout every rail trick. You want to make sure that when you practice your easy ones, like the 50s, the board slides, you are keeping everything engaged so that everything feels second nature when you go on to do other tricks. Because
You know when you combine tricks?
when you do other tricks, and yeah, combine them too. But I'm more talking about, let's say you're doing 50s like that. You can get away with doing a 50 in that way, but once you try to do tricks like front feeble, you have to lock in with your core, right? Or else it's going to be harder for you to go the distance, and you're going to begin to compensate with, more unnecessary speed, right? And forcing that lock in with the foot instead of just letting your weight stabilize you and lock yourself in. But yeah, of course, as you combine tricks, do kickflip board slides, it's good to be able to kickflip, and as you land onto the board slide, you're still engaged through that whole motion instead of just like breaking that engagement. Once you kickflip and then you extend and you're like, what's going on? You have to kickflip and stay in that engaged motion. Otherwise, it gets very frustrating because you can do a kickflip and you can do a board slide, but what you're missing is staying engaged throughout the whole motion, right? Yeah, so good point. That's what you're talking about, right?
Exactly what I was
Yeah,
doing.
cool. Okay, cool. I want to do I'm gonna do a big spin front board. Let me see if I can do this. I've done it a couple times though. So let's see if I can do that. And once I land it, I'm gonna just call it a day for this video. Check it out. Do I go?
Yeah.
First tee? What do you guys think?
They said yeah.
Rail skater. That was scary. It landed like a wheelie grind or something. Who said yeah?
Me, I was pretending not to.
Wow, it's so windy. Hopefully the interference isn't that bad. Alright. Wow.
You can't kickflip 350 or kickflip board slide?
Yeah, but this is like it's more of a challenge right here.
Oh, no.
And I also been wanting to do this trick, but I don't know. There's so many other tricks that I just want to practice. But this is a fun one. I think I'm just letting fear overwhelm me. But I got it right here. This one's gonna be it. Get closer. The trick with this one for me, it's don't put so much pressure on the spin. Just let my hips turn. Do I go?
Yeah. Oh.
I don't really skate like that, so or do tricks on flat bar, so that's pretty sick. Meanwhile, this guy can do that on a 6-day wheel. Cool. Hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. Remember, keep stable. Keep yourself stable by engaging the core and the hips. Center yourself over the rail, not the center of the board. I should have said that. I like that, huh? Center yourself over the rail instead of the center of the board. Make sure that when you're coming off, your knee is going forward instead of pushing down. And lastly, what's the last one? Oh, when you're on there, think about being on there with your forefoot, and instead of getting on your heels, putting tension, applying tension or pressure to those heels. Huh? What does that mean?
Fully engaged.
Yeah, keep yourself fully engaged, and yeah, all that good stuff. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.